Now you're all. I can't get that stupid song out of my head. Recently I rewatched Shrek, and now I keep getting things recommended to me like, oh, this time it's All Star, but Kermit the Frog is singing it. But that also got me wondering, just how many Shrek games is there? Because I knew there was at least 6. So I went to the most reliable source in all of gaming, Wikipedia, and now I can confidently tell you that there's 34 Shrek games. That's more than I can count. Maybe if I talk about them today, I can get that dumb song out of my head. So the first 4 Shrek games that I'll talk about are based on the first 4 Shrek movies. We can mostly gloss over these, but I'm still gonna talk a little bit about them. The first Shrek game was a launch title for the Xbox, and behind the scenes, Microsoft used it to show how powerful the Xbox was. Which mustn't have been that powerful considering the fact that it also released on the GameCube, which is less powerful than the Xbox. Now I think I need to drink soap or something because I mentioned that console 3 times. Now, it's not that I hate that console, it's that I fucking despise that console. I'll stick with my PS3, thank you very much. Shrek 2 is an action-adventure game released in 2004, which means it's basically The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. So if you've played The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, you've played Shrek 2. Shrek 3 is basically the same as Shrek 2, and Shrek 4's only notable thing is that's the first Shrek game released on the PS3. Not every game gets to be the first Shrek game on the PS3. I wish I was the first Shrek game on the PS3. Did you know that there's just as much games in the Shrek racing genre as in the Shrek main series? I wish I knew that a month ago. They asked a question in a pop quiz and I shouted at the top of my lungs, oh, there's one Shrek racing game. Everybody laughed at me because I got it wrong. Oh shit, that was bingo. There may have been 4 Shrek racing games, but the one true Shrek cart was the 3rd released in the series. Only released onto iOS, Android, and whatever the Pampree was. Now, before you go racing to the App Store with your Pampree, just remember one thing. It was removed in 2017 from all stores. And let's just say, when you see that, you'll be the opposite of happy. The last Shrek racing game, if you can even call it that, is DreamWorks Superstar Karts with a Z, because that's cool. This was also the last DreamWorks game to be published by Activision, which is neat. Next we move on to the Shrek party game genre. It's like Mario Party, except I've never played Mario Party or any of the Shrek party games. There's also only 4 games in the Shrek party game genre, and I'm starting to notice a pattern with how many games are in each genre. The first Shrek party game was the first Shrek game to be released onto a PlayStation console, and also the only Shrek game to be released onto the original PlayStation. It's called Shrek Treasure Hunt and is made by TDK, which I can only assume stands for The Donkey Kong. The next game is Shrek Super Party, which comes up before Shrek Party. They really pulled a Star Wars on us, starting in the middle and then going back to do the prequels later. This game was also published by The Donkey Kong. I didn't think Ace would be able to make a video game, but then again I've seen the gameplay and it doesn't make much sense. The next game is Shrek Carnival Crazy Party Games, which might just be one of the dumbest titles I've ever heard. Video games with bad titles. Why does this sound so familiar? Never mind. The final Shrek party game is Shrek Party, and it was released for the Java Platform Micro Edition. This and Shrek Carnival Crazy Party Games were both released in 2008. People must have been throwing a lot of Shrek-themed parties back in 2008, because if there wasn't demand for all these Shrek-themed parties, then why would they make 2 of the Shrek-themed party games? Next we move on to the Shrek educational games. Now, Shrek's Dragon's Tale is meant for 6 to 8-year-olds in America, but in France it's meant for 6 to 9-year-olds. Maybe I'll talk about the rest of these Shrek educational games some other day. Like, I don't know, next week. Now I'm going to do a speedrun of the rest of the Shrek games. First, we have Shrek Fairy Tale Freakdown, which was rated 0.5 stars. Then, we have Shrek Gameland Activity Center. Next, we have Shrek Castle at the Castle, which is what you're seeing right now. It was on the Game Boy Advance. Next, we have the re-release of the original Shrek game, Shrek Extra Large. This was made for the GameCube by TDK. Next, we have Shrek Wreaking Havoc, which was the last Shrek game published by TDK. Shrek 2 Activity Center, Twisted Fairy Tale Run, and Shrek Team Action. Shrek 2 Beg for Mercy, also known as what Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life should have been called. Shrek 2 Trivia. A game all about learning the entire novelization of Shrek 2 off by heart. Shrek 2 Super Slam, the game every wrestling game strives to be. And Shrek 2 Puss in Boots Adventure, the first in the Pussy in Boots spin-off series. Shrek 'n' Roll, the first Shrek game to ever be download only. And also what Smash Mouth should have been called. Shrek Ogres and Jonkies, the game you're seeing right now. I have nothing nice to say about this game. Puss in Boots, the last DreamWorks game to be published by THQ. And Fruit Ninja, Puss in Boots. Shrek's Fairy Tale Kingdom, Shrek Alarm. And Pocket Shrek. What I can only assume is a Pokemon game where you go around catching little Shreks. Now, this was also published by No Yetis. And if it wasn't published by any Yetis, then who the hell was it published by? I think I hold the world record for talking about Shrek games. And also, I've got that song out of my head. Somebody once told me the... Damn it. I guess talking about all those Shrek games was pointless. If there wasn't an upcoming quiz solely based on Shrek games. And now that I know all there is to know about Shrek games, I'm ready for the big day. Here was bingo again.